될 정도로 정말 이더리움 클래식에 대한 관심이 굉장히 뜨거웠는데요. 자, 이렇게 한국에서 많은 관심과 사랑을 받고 있는 이더리움 클래식의 첫 공식 미덕에 오신 여러분 다시 한번 진심으로 환영합니다. 자, 본격적으로 저희 오늘의 미덕을 좀 진행을 해보도록 할 텐데요. 저희 오늘은요 전 BTCC 거래소의 퀄리티 매니저셨고요. 현재는 이더리움 클래식의 아시아 커뮤니티 매니저로 계시는 크리스티안님 모셔보고 저희가 좀 얘기를 들어보는 시간 먼저 가져보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 여러분 큰 박수로 환영해 주시기 바랍니다.
Hi everybody, I'm so glad to be here and I'm so appreciated you coming today, even it's very warm today. First let me introduce myself. I'm Christian X. I'm now taking the role of ETC Community Manager of Asia. And I am former Quality Director of BBCC. It's also called BBC China. It was once today I will talk three big topics. The first one is basic information of Ethereum Classic, then the resources of ETC, and the last I will talk about our ETC community. Let me just introduce blockchain in one sentence. In short, blockchain can track and verify any asset in digital world without involvement of any third-party institutions. Here I want to emphasize on the face of without involvement of third-party institutions. There are two meanings here. The first is any transaction happen on the blockchain needn't any verification of the third-party institutions. The second one is any decentralized. The second one is on blockchain any transaction is decentralized. Any centralized institutions cannot judge what can happen and what cannot. Okay, let's start our Ethereum Classic introducing. Ethereum Classic is a smarter blockchain. Smarter blockchain means on Ethereum Classic we can use smart contract. And the smart contract can do some complex logics on the blockchain. And the Ethereum Classic is immutable and censorship resistant. And Ethereum Classic has developed a relatively new strategy that we will focus on IoT and device connected, so value can transfer on Ethereum between the devices and hardware. Let me introduce the history of Ethereum Classic. When mentioning Ethereum Classic, I must see the story of the dog. The dog happens in 2016, and in June of 2016, maybe 50 million of US dollar of Ethereum has been hacked. So Ethereum Foundation decided to do a hard fork to roll back the transaction. But another part of the Ethereum community thinks the blockchain should not be rolled back. The blockchain should be immutable, and they decided to stay on the law chain. So Ethereum Classic generated. So in my opinion, Ethereum Classic is the law chain of Ethereum, and Ethereum nowadays is a hard fork. Let's talk immutability. Just imagine if you have much money stored in the account of a bank, and the biggest investor in that bank can judge how much of your money can move and how much of your money is still can be stored. That's very terrible. So it will never happen in Ethereum Classic. We will protect your account in our blockchain. The monetary policy Ethereum Classic has decided to stay on POW mining process. We all know Ethereum will change from POW to POS, maybe in the next years. And the total supply of Ethereum Classic cryptocurrency is between 210 million to 230 million. Reward will be reduced by 20% every 5 million blocks, and the reward for the anchor blocks will also be reduced. The ecosystem of Ethereum. Ethereum is most transferred cryptocurrency, just like BCH. It's far more frequent than, Ethereum is the most transferred cryptocurrency, just like Litecoin. It's far more frequent than BCH. And there are several development teams on Ethereum Classic. Every team has long-term vision. And the code submission on Ethereum Classic is very frequent. It's just second in the mainstream cryptocurrencies, just behind Bitcoin. The Ethereum technology. ETC is longest running smart contract blockchain since 2014. So the transfer on ETC blockchain is very efficient. The transfer time on ETC is just 13 seconds, but Bitcoin is maybe 10 minutes. And we have aimed to IoT industry. For this aim, we just developed a new VM that's called Sputnik VM. And we will connect devices in our blockchain. It's a roadmap of ETC. Here I want to emphasize some milestones, some items of this year. The first one is remove difficulty bound. The difficulty bound is generated at the beginning of Ethereum created. It is for the transfer from POW to POS. As I mentioned, Ethereum Classic has decided to stay on POW, so there is not necessary. There is no need for difficulty bound. And the second is Inrod SDK project. Inrod project will provide many SDK for DApps developers to build their DApps on Ethereum Classic. It's very great because nowadays building any projects on the blockchain is very difficult. With SDKs, the developers can build very easily. And third is sidechain. Sidechain is to solve the problem of scalability. As we all know, scalability is a very big problem on the blockchain. As we have aimed the goal to support IoT, so the scalability is very important for our blockchain. And on Ethereum Classic ETC, we have some core projects like Classic Gas. Classic Gas is most commonly client of Ethereum Classic. And the second is Mantis. Mantis is developed by IOHK. It's a client developed by language of Scala. And the Sputnik VM, Inrod platform, and the sidechains, as I mentioned, are all core projects. And then I will talk some resources on ETC. First, I want to talk the wallets. There are some hardware wallets, and most famous is Ledger and Trezor. They both support ETC. And and there is Inrod wallet. Inrod wallet is a native wallet to support ETC, and also Parity. Parity support both Ethereum Classic and Ethereum. And if you want the convenience of transferring your cryptocurrency, you can use some web wallets. So Ethereum Classic has Classic Ether Wallet, and you also can use my Ether Wallet to transfer